the Italian Space Agency came up with. And there are certain such as Parkinson's disease, where oxidative stress causes to the cognitive and behavioral function. And so this study was looking at how antioxidant nanoparticles could maybe protect the neurons and prevent that degradation of cognitive. Over. Several things. First off, I think, reuse and recycling are extremely important as we go further. We're not just able to easily ship supplies, so that's something that's incredibly important. Figuring out radiation, as we go further in the solar system, how do we protect humans from radiation? And then also just looking at ecological welfare and how do we handle that stress of being away from our home planet for such long periods of time and from everyone we know and love. Carried out several studies. It's lots of human research experiments in general on to understand things like the weightless environment impact. A lot of things up here in the space environment simulate rapid aging, especially to our vascular system and our arteries, and that can then be applied to help us, go further and do longer duration missions further out in space, and also to help us back on Earth. Over. I think a lot of it